Hello everyone, in this episode we've got this CCTV system with 4 cameras. You can see that now, yes, 4 cameras. The problem with this one is that on the small hard drives it's working still okay, on the big ones still, stopped, yes. I've checked all the voltages in the power supplies and these are fine, so the next step would be to go for the capacitors. So I've ordered 470 microfarads. Unfortunately they are slightly bigger, but they are as well on the 25 volts, so it is what it is, you know, you can't get always the same size. And then there is a smaller one, 220 microfarads, and we need to replace it, so we're heating up, yes. And the polarity, you need to always check the polarity before removing the old ones. Why? Because you will end up with chasing, you know, how it should be connected. So here the polarity is that the minus, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but minus is in between them, yes. So the grayish, gray, not grayish, the gray mark, it's minus, and that's in between them. Okay, so what we can do is suck up, heat it up and suck up. Okay, didn't heat up well. Doesn't look like it want to. I could press. No, it's not enough. Yes, okay, this didn't go as well as anticipated. Okay, if it doesn't want to go, what you can do is you can grab your hand higher, okay. You can grab your hand on the capacitor here and just wiggle it a bit, yes, just wiggle it while heating it, and then it will let go. But the best way is to not put it through the holes, better is to let it go a bit. Clean your soldering iron, yes, and try it one more time, because if the hole will stay with more solder, then you will be making yourself extra work to get it out. Whereas if you can get as much as you can right now, you might ending up with just inserting another, and that's you, job done. Okay, I count seems to get out the rest. I'm sniffing the how you call it, I'm sniffing the plastic from that tip, so I wanted to get rid of it. It's a simple ironing process. You see I'm holding it and this gray stuff is inside. Okay, so now what we can do is we can put a bit of a flux. Is it the holes are there, but still. Okay, we can put a bit here as well. Just make sure that these holes are vivid, yes, because if these holes are not vivid, you'll struggle to insert the new capacitor. Okay, yeah, it is better. It is better. Before inserting the next one, it's better to remove them both, to be true. So again, let's heat it up, wait a bit, and then just, if you won't wait a bit, then what's happening is not sucking well. You should open the window because it's really smell the fumes. The less I'll inhale it, less worried I will be, yeah? And again, here you see is the mark. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? The gray. Hopefully you can see that it is this gray mark on this side. So we just know that it's inside. That's it. Now I'm wiggling at the bottom and having this removed. Okay, so we got those both out of the way. You can insert new one. These are slightly bigger, so keep in mind that. Oh, now you see. Now you can. You see, you've got those white marks. Those white marks are showing you how to insert them. Okay, and we shouldn't cut it up front. Yes, we should wait with cutting. Now this one is not fully clean. I'm doing it with no microscope, with no glasses, with no anything, so my eyesight is not the bestest. Okay. Didn't take out all the solder, I see. That's suspicious. Okay, so if it doesn't work this way, there is one more way. Wanna go? Okay, don't go. You can put a bit of the. Oh, you see now. Now when you heat it up, and hold this in the proper position here. It should, you see, it should heat up and it should let you go, let you in. Why it's so? It's because this is a how to call it? This is unable to heat it. This iron is unable to heat it properly, yes. So if the solder is inside the hole, then what's happening is you heating the outer surface, but you can't heat the hole surface. Oh, this hole is clear. And this hole again is not clear. So if it's not clear, guess what? We can always give it a wee shot like that, and if it wouldn't work, what we will do, you know what we will do. That's the smaller one. Oh, I've made a mistake. I've placed the 220 microfarads inside the 470 hole. So that was something not what went in a plan, unplanned. I don't know why when I'm doing recording for use, the work is going like level down. I'm struggling to do the simplest jobs, believe or not. Don't know why, but that's what's happening. And I see myself really struggling with these jobs. That's a bit annoying to be true, because you know you're doing these jobs anyway and you're doing them for so many years, and suddenly you get a problem with, oh no, now I moved, but that's happening even if I don't record. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, that's not nice. One of the pads has disappeared, so it will have to hold from the other side, but it's a good thing that with this one is possible. Where's that for 40? But the problem now is that I need to be careful, because literally I need to okay, I see that I will struggle now, and that's what it is with recording, you know. You're doing those simple jobs and you're saying, oh, that's a few minutes, that I'll finish in no time. Yes, I won't start well and it will be finished, and then you ending up ruining some simple job. And then you're wasting more time to fix it as well. And I'm not even overconfident or anything, it's just that I know when I'm doing stuff, I need to be focused on doing them. Yes, focus on doing them, because if I don't, then automatically what's happening is that this lack of focus is just killing. And it's a simple thing, you know, it's like really simple. It's nothing overwhelming or nothing complicated or simple. I don't even, you see, I don't even use the microscope for this or anything. It's just so simple. But yet you can destroy it by just talking and pointing, showing. Then you wanna correct it and you're wasting more time. Sometimes you can't correct it and you just have to call the customer and saying, can I buy you a next one? Literally, I'm not joking. When you doing and you're recording, I had this in the past. I was destroying stuff because I was just literally, I was focused on the video to explain it rather than doing the job. Whereas if I'm not talking, I'm not disturbed, then I can do it better. Now you see I'm struggling with inserting it, and I've inserted the first one with no problem at all, yes, whereas this one is a problem for me, and it's a simple job, and I'm burning myself, you see, and it's just burn myself, unbelievable. And I don't mind when somebody is on the side, believe it or not. It's just when I need to record it and I need to explain it, then I like to explain things to people, don't get me wrong. It's just that when I'm doing it on the recording, I need to be 100% focused anyway. Now I can't see it properly. Now I need to correct the lighting and do it under the scope, and I'm burned, so that doesn't help as well. Don't like what I'm doing, to be true, but I've got no other choice but continue. No buts. Oh, okay. So now we've got minus and minus. Yes, good. So that's the polarity is okay. Okay, they've inserted, they are fine. Now what we need to do is we need to solder them. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do it the way I want it. It's too much light, but I can't do anything about it. I can only remove this one. So it's a simple procedure of putting a bit flux on all of these pads. Not a lot, but just to help it to catch the solder. It's looking, yeah, okay-ish. Here you can put a bit too much, that's okay. That side might not hold, I will have to correct this side anyway. Okay, they are stable, but I'm not happy with how this one is catched up. I'll need to check if that's okay. I can see under the scope that it's, under the magnifying glass that it's okay. I can cut them now. That's a good thing. Can cut them, that's not a problem. Okay, that'll do to me. Okay, how it looks like, it's fine. And it's fine, it's not the cleanest job, but it's okay, it's good enough. But still another pain for me. So here I've lost my skin, here I've cut myself, here I've got this burn mark. You really have to be careful what you're doing. If you don't, then automatically you see what you can do to yourself. Yes. Now we've got one more capacitor to replace, and this capacitor, we should be doing it in no time. We will see how long this one will waste my time. So the polarity is here minus from the inside of the board. Okay, there's the paper stuff. I wanna burn that stuff. Doesn't want to move on one of the pins. Don't know why. Don't understand why. It's moving on one. Okay, now let go. So yes, so polarity is here on this side. Minus. Now I've got 25 here. So the minus has to go this way. Unfortunately, this was inside, so this might struggle a bit with going in. Yeah, as I was saying. Okay, good. So now the second leg. No, not at all. So it's struggle. Now, if it's struggling, yes, two things you can do. You can either add more solder and heat it up. Yes, like that. And clean the tip. Do not insert more. Now make sure this is aligned properly. And now you can try it. The only question is what's holding you, the new one or the old one, yes? Because this should go... Oh, now they both went in, that's fine. It doesn't have to go all the way long, as long as it's not causing you headache and it's not too high. Okay. So now simultaneously you need to heat it up. If you want simultaneously heat it up, oh, that's good, that's good. If you want simultaneously heat it up, then what's happening is you will be struggling to insert that, because on the both, oh, that's has some flux on the tip. Oh, that's okay. I can take it off. I'll switch it off. They've connected together, but that's okay, because they won't be connected together anymore. Yeah, good. You check. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I can use isopropyl now to clean it off and put everything back together. But I don't see some brush. Need to see some brush. Okay, get it. Now, if this won't turn on, that's mean one of those connections which I was talking about on those 470 microfarads here, they are not connecting, yes? Then I'll have to solder them from that side, because I've seen the connector was over there. But I'm wishing and hoping that the connection is good enough, and that's it. And then we can test why the voltage is not allowing us to run the big hard drive, 3.5 inch rather than 2.5, the small ones. Okay, so anyways, this one is completed. We can put old capacitors aside, because if customer would say, oh, show me that you've done it, you won't have them. So you can dump them here, put them aside, and throw the rest. At least put it aside so you're not having any metal parts which will leave scratches for customer device. Oh, look. Now what we could do is we could make the dry test, so that's not connect everything, just, you know, like leave it, or we can just literally put it back. Yes, put it back and then give it a test. So now the question is, what's better? Yes, there's no better or worse, it's just more time consuming or less. I don't mind to do it the right way, I mean put it back together. From what I see, that's all the screws there is, so I can segregate them now. Okay, these two looking differently. Now this one is 1 and that's a black one. These are looking like these ones are coming from the enclosure, because these are 4 and we need 2 with a thin thread, so we get a 1 with thin thread. So the question is, what's wrong with the second one? Okay, so that's a 1. Now I don't know what's wrong, but I know that here are several points which want to be connected with. So these might be these ones. So we don't need all of them here for a test. Yes, we can have few of them, or like this. Wow, this one is cool. It's only this one here which is missing, and I need a light. Oh yeah. That's for the hard drive, and the one which we wanted is this one. Yes, okay. So the problem which I had was that one screw went out. And why I want this? Because it can be a grounding point which is vital for this device to work. We don't know that, we don't have schematics, so it's guessing, but still a good point to guess. Okay, so we got everything. Now we can plug in the power and the signal for the hard drive. Okay, and we can get old hard drive first. Actually, we don't need to even plug the signal cable. Even if the we don't need the mouse as well. That's not needed for now. All we need is a power, and we will know the sound of it, because we know how the hard drive should sound. And we don't have a power button, so yay, we would use of this. So now okay, this one goes here. Oh, the sound is not nice already. Power is shown already. The sound is not proper. I'm gonna guess. Okay guys, so I'm back to work because my son decided to go. So again, I did try to plug that in, and I've heard weird sound. No matter if I'll plug in the signal cable, the data cable. Yes. Oh, you don't see because there's an enclosure. Okay, so if I'll plug it in, yeah, the sound is not the right one. Yes, so we know that this didn't fix, and in that case we need to diagnose further, unfortunately. The same sound. Okay, so we know that this didn't fix the issue, and we can check on the meter if it's still 12 and 5. It's 11 volts. That's a bit less than we expect, and then there is 5 volts. So if we've got proper voltage but it doesn't go, then that's mean the the amperes are not there, the amps, yes. So now the question is, what can be wrong? If we checked before, because I know what I was checking, why there is an issue, what can cause that? So if the small drive is working fine and the big one is not willing to work, that means it's less amperes than it should get, it's receiving. But we know that original hard drive was big one, yes, because that's the one which I took out. So customer bought the right size of the hard drive, 3.5 inch, but for some reason this hard drive doesn't get the full power. No matter if I will connect or disconnect the how you call it, the data cable, this should give us a sound which is, you know, like you can hear the RPM spinning, and these are not. So in that case, the power which is going out from this outlet is not producing enough current. Now, I don't remember with old capacitors what was the current, yes, but here we've got 11 volts, not 12 volts. So that's 11 as well. That's 11. That's not 12 but 11. This might be the reason why we've got the issue in the first place, because this hard drive might not get enough volts, and so yeah, the 5 volts are 5 volts, so I would say that the 5 volts is right. Now we could make a test of disconnecting 12 volts and get the lab power supply on 12 volts, yes, and see if that will get it back by getting the boost to 12 volts from 11 volts. What that would show us would be that the 12 volts really need to be here, not 11. But then we can follow the schematics and look if I need to pause. And then we could go back on the way on the circuit, while knowing the capacitors are given the proper boost to the power now, because these are the proper capacity capacitors, yes, so these are fine, so we can't worry about it anymore. So then there is a driver chipset which is driving it, yes, which we can be worried about. But then again, you know, the question is how much it's worth for the customer to fix it, because if I'll spend so much time, I'd have to, that's 5 volts on this leg, yes, it's 1 volt on this leg, 4 on this leg, 0, 0, 3 volts, 3 volts, so that's 3 to 5 volts. That's not a regulator for the 12 volts, okay. That's 1 volt. That's weird. Why diode would give you only 1 volt? Okay. Yeah, here is 4 volts. That's 0. That's okay. So here we've got 4 volts, and on the second one we've got only 1 volt. Okay, so it might be the case, but now we need to find 12 volt controller which is controlling it, or some MOSFET. Yeah, that's 11 and drop into 12, no, sorry, 12 drop into 11, and that's not stable. the magnifying glass is not allowing me to. It's 1 volt. And do we have 12 volts here? Or oh, I think I was trying to short circuit it. Okay, I know what's happening. The resistor is touching. That's 5 volts. Okay, so we've got here 5 volts, 12 volts coming in, but it's not going out 12 volts. So we don't know what this chipset does, but it's not helping. Here the same. No, here was 12. It's 12 volts now. But it's looking like, I don't know where I can hook that up. Want to hook it to not hold it, to unfreeze one hand. Okay, now I've got one spare hand. Yes. So now what it is that's producing 5 volts. That's 4 volts. That's useless because that doesn't show me any volts. Need to go backwards to see what's causing the 12 volts, which that's 3 volts. It's 1 more capacitor, 3 more capacitors electrolytic, but these weren't the 12 volt ones. 12 volts ones were these. So we can go back on this lane. Yeah, on this lane. So why these don't have enough current? Now the question is, would it be something wrong with the cable only? Because that would explain this. Now it's 12:11. It's jumping. Let's do 20. Why I don't have? You see, it's 11:50, 11:70, 30. It's jumping. It's not stable. Yes. If we will disconnect it, will it be stable? Yeah, it's jumping to 12 point, yeah, even more. Okay, so that's 12 volts, 12.1 volts, and that's stable. If we will disconnect data cable and connect, that's dropping to 11 point whatever, it's not stable anymore. So in that case, the power produced or the connection with the hard drive, it's failing. Whereas if we will take an additional power supply, will give us weird buzzing sound because that's the technology they are having, so it's not up to us. Zero it. Okay, good. Power, it's here. And when we will take the same hard drive, plug it in. Here is SATA. Okay. Okay, when I will switch it on, I you can hear the sound of it. Where is the button? Here is the button. Okay, can we hear the sound? Oh no, we can't hear it. Why we can't hear it? Power is in. Oh! Making a mess. Ah, okay, so we need to enable it with the cable, because probably it doesn't feel the connection. So 0, now USB connection. Yes. So I can switch it off. Yes. And you can hear the buzzing sound, like a vibration. Hopefully it's recognizable on the camera. Now I shouldn't move hard drive when it's spinning, so I'll switch it off. The problem only that I don't have such power supply. Only power supply. I've got this with a power cable as well, unfortunately. Yes, so unfortunately we can't see what's the current and voltage during the process, yes, of work. The same is with the second hard drive. That's exactly the same. So now the question is, what chipset is driving it, finding the chipset specification and finding what's supplying the power to that chipset, yes, like maybe this chipset, yes, just finding which chipset can drive the 12 volts by going back from these capacitors all the way along to the chipset. And we've got two choices. We can either mount additional power supply and not worry about it, and that would be quite quick fix, or fix this power supply to supply us a proper 12 volts. Yes, so these two choices we have, because 5 volts seems to be stable 5 volts no matter what. Yes, let's check the other ones. Yeah, and it's dropping, whereas the 5 volts was stable. Yeah, that's 5 volts and that's not dropping. So the only problem is here with 12 volts which turns out not to be the capacitors. So yeah, I will have to open it again, chase it, and see what's causing that, because either the connection is wrong, so that's mean, you know, maybe the connection is poor, whereas I wouldn't say, because that's dropping. It's too much dropping. It's from 11.1 to 11.8 or 11.2 to 11.8, so it's struggling to deliver, or there is some component faulty, yes, which we need to diagnose. Yeah, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So yay, happy days, but more work for me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was a big one, a farty one. But anyways, I won't be taking more of your time, but if I'll diagnose it, I'll run you through the process and I'll show you what it is. I just don't want to take too much of your time, because that's like a almost live recording, yes, so you see me doing step-by-step procedures, and because I don't know what's wrong, yes, with this. Is it the power cable, or is it the connector, or is it the component on the main board? Yes, we don't know that. Then, you know, it will take me some time to diagnose it, and that will be really time consuming. So if I can do it, diagnose it in my own time, and show you why I'm thinking which component is faulty, then we can save up the time on the recording. So it will be a part 2 or 3, because I don't know. I think this is the part 1. On part 1 I didn't make the part 1, that's a part 1, so that will be part 2 of the recording, because that's already 45 minutes, guys, so I really don't want to take it 2 hours. Yes, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next part. Bye bye.